Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make some homemade almond milk. You don't need any special equipment except for a blender and a thin piece of fabric. This is actually my aunt's recipe and she's been vegan for quite some time now, so I hope you can try this one out. If you want the written out recipe, it's in the description box. You just have to click that little arrow and it'll come up. So the main ratio for 1 gallon of almond milk, because it fluctuates depending on how much you soak it and other factors, is 1 cup of almonds, a third cup of cashews, and 1/3 cup of walnuts. Again, you're gonna get about a gallon. It might fluctuate again, so just make sure you're making enough, because it might be a little less than a half gallon if you do half this recipe. So I'm covering the nuts with some water and soaking it for a minimum of 8 hours. This is how it'll look like after about 8 hours. You want to drain out that water and wash the nuts. Just make sure there's no dark water remaining. And this is how they're going to look like, drained and soaked. So now it's time to peel your almonds. There's 2 methods to peel your almonds. You can literally peel it off with your nails or your fingers, or sometimes the skin will just snap right off like it just did. You just have to press kind of hard on one side of the almond and the skin will just snap off. Again, it depends on how long you soak it. If you soak it for longer, it will be a little easier to peel, but definitely don't soak it for more than 12 hours. So you want to make sure that there's no peels. Try it as hard as you can not to have any peels in your soaked and peeled nuts. So that's how they're going to look like. And now it's time to blend. So the ratio for soaked nuts to water for this almond milk recipe is 1 cup of soaked nuts to 3 cups of water. So I have 2 cups of soaked nuts here, which means I'm going to add 6 cups of water. What I'm going to do first is add 3 cups of water just to start with, and then add my other 3 cups in later, because my blender is quite tall and I find that the almond milk, when it's blending, still kind of reaches the top. So if you have a kind of small blender, you might want to do this in batches. So I'm gonna blend that on a medium speed for about 2.5 minutes. Make sure you're timing it. You don't want to under blend it, otherwise there will be little chunks of nuts that you want, or nuts that you'll see in the mixture, which is not what you want. It's okay if there's little grains, we can take care of that later, but you really want to make sure that it looks as smooth as possible as you can get it with the blender. So again, 2.5 minutes to 4 minutes if your blender is kind of slow. So now I'm going to add those remaining 3 cups of water. Like I said, we have only added 3 cups so far, and so this makes 6. And you want to blend that for 2 minutes again on a medium speed. Again, just make sure that water is fully incorporated into the mixture. It's not too different from the first one, just make sure you don't under blend it again. So it's normal to see this little grains of nuts right there. That's fine, we're taking care of that right now. This is a strainer. This is made special, this is especially for almond milk making, but you just need a thin piece of fabric. So pour your almond milk in, depending on how much you have and how big your piece of fabric is. Also, that strainer is from Amazon. You can get it off Amazon if you just search it up. So what you're going to want to do is just squeeze that piece of fabric. What you're doing is getting out all that extra almond milk out of the nut pulp that will be left. So this is what the nut pulp will look like, kind of like a dry sandy mixture. Do not throw this away. You can get, again, the same amount as milk as you just got, so do not throw this away no matter what you do. Just break it up and put it back in your blender. The ratio again is 1 cup of nut pulp to 3 cups of water. So it's the same ratio as the soaked nuts, even though it's a different consistency. It's okay if there's a little more, because this mixture is a little more compact. So again, I'm adding 6 cups of water to that. You don't have to do the 3 cup and then 3 cup method if your blender is tall enough to do it. And you can just add it all in this time if you can. And again, just blend it for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So now I'm putting my almond milk that I already strained into 2 glass bottles. I want equal parts in each glass bottle just because I want the same consistency in each bowl. So I'm straining the almond milk that I just made, that I just blended out of the nut pulp, and putting equal parts of that in too. So like I said, you want the same consistency. You don't want one being super thick and the other almond milk in another glass being super thin. And that's pretty much it. You want to make sure you store it in the fridge. It can last for anywhere between 1 week to 1.5 weeks, so make sure you make the correct amount accordingly. And that is it. It's super easy. It might take a couple times to get accustomed to it, but once you get the hang of it, it's super easy, and it's a really easy way to make some almond milk. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more recipes. Bye.